Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Pot Smoker's Bible. My name is Zion. I'm the author of the Pot Smoker's Bible, which contains the prophetic book of Zion, where I get my name and authority. It comes from the Ketuvim, or Old Testament of the Hebrew Bible, or Torah, if you will. Now, before we get started today, it's my birthday. I embarrassed Kenny on his, so it's my turn to be embarrassed. So, happy birthday to me. I'm 58 today. Yay. Anyway, let's get on with this. And this is the 15th part of the 27th chapter of Pot Smoker's Bible, which contains the 24th chapter of the Book of Zion. And today we're doing part of the dissertation. So I'm just going to take up where I left off, okay? Alright. Hollywood is the tool of politics. Ever since the Prohibition, the media and entertainment industries have worked together to control the hearts and minds of the population. The government suggests themes for movies, and the propaganda machine kicks in. Whatever Washington vilifies, Hollywood makes into a movie. Case in point, the war on drugs, alien invasions, war movies, all aid the government in their propaganda of control. It is through this biased medium that we get our information about the aliens. The true media, the news outlets, treat contact as a joke. UFOs are not real, they say. Mass hallucinations, hysteria, a misunderstood aircraft. Yeah, right. The government straight out denies that there's even aliens at all. Religion is ignored entirely when it holds the key to the truth of prophecy, through prophecy. But all we get is Hollywood horror shows. The truth of aliens has always been right in front of us. Religion was created not only to transmit the prophecy, but to create a reverence and an innate faith in the aliens. They created our God ideal to instill in us a sense of trust. We can trust in God. God is alien. We can trust the gray because they are our gods. Religion serves a purpose. Its purpose was to teach moral law and to create the means of transmission of information for the communication between two diverse species, a way to coexist on a planet and to communicate. And when things changed and our great parents had to leave us behind, it became a tether to keep us connected to our past and them, a means to transmit through time the information needed to reintegrate our species. Religion was instituted for a very good reason, but we perverted it. Without physical contact with our gods, we lost the true meaning of God, and religion became something else, a means to control the population, a way to use fear of God as a means to rule. God became a threat. The politics of rule subverted the faith. God became overlord. The priests, a powerful force that must be obeyed. The main point of religion was not faith, but the message of information through time, in accordance with tradition. The tradition stated that God was real, laws were there and must be adhered to, and most important, God would return. It was never about belief. Religion was about events over time, long periods of time. Events of the past, the present, and the future. The past events of our united history. God and humanity once lived side by side on earth, but for reasons untold, they, the gray, had to leave. But they promised to return. They even told us what to expect when they did. This knowledge was transmitted through the priests. These priests were shadows of the true priests of the former age. Ancient priests were powerful beings who used alien taught methods to manipulate matter and affairs among men. Compared to the true priests of old, the modern priests are nothing more than teachers who endlessly lecture students that never listen. But the knowledge survived, none the less, as it was intended. So that now, in our present time, we have the knowledge of God as alien in the form of ancient sacred texts. However, the degeneration of religion from one-to-one contact to the fables of past contacts into the morph of the all-powerful God has put us in a state of rejecting the message because the messenger is an idiot. The dogma of religion has become so ingrained in our social order that true priests, like the Zionite drug users, see religion as a joke told by a jester to an audience of zombies who wander around destroying all that they see and seeking to devour the entire population. The rituals of religion have undermined the message of alien gods. We know, we now view religion as a joke and God as a joke. The message is not lost, but the people the true message was intended for, those whose lives, the godly, who live the godly life, it is not logical. It's not likely, and it's not what is true, because they get the message veiled through fables. The inert priests embellished the text. They told their own version of the story. They changed the end. They added characters. They took away others. And what they now transmit is so far from the original message that only fools believe in it. Because our religions have degenerated and our rulers had, as a result, gone down the path of greed and power, the world we now live in is devoid of understanding. We don't know that alien means God. We think God is an all-encompassing force that will dictate everything. The threefold God is a force of life, but even they don't bother to dictate those lives. So our version of God is definitely misleading. Part of the problem is the hellfire aspect of God. The priests have instilled fear in our minds in regards to God. We must obey God. We must obey His laws. We must believe. We must fear God. That fear was meant to control. The priest's true power comes from fear. God, who is represented by the priest, is an all-powerful being who will punish those who sin. Therefore, you must obey. So we are taught to fear both God and aliens. God will come to punish the wicked. The aliens will come to take over and possibly to even eat us. Therefore, only humans are to be trusted. So don't trust God. He's dead. And if he's alive, he's scary. Aliens are evil. Fear them both. Overlaid on this propaganda is the government. We can't believe religions, they say. But telling the government you can't believe science either. Science says that aliens aren't real. Well, they used to say that anyway. They don't say that so much anymore. Science says that humanity is no older than the oldest dig site that they have. Nothing came before that. Myths aren't real. God is dead. Humans are number one. We rule over everything. or so the government would have you believe. Because the government knows that the Grey are here. They know that we are related to them. The government knows that the Grey want to make first contact. But they know that if the Grey come openly, they will do so not as aliens, but as the return of our gods. And that is the one thing that the government does not want society to know. When the Grey made contact with the governments of Earth, they rejected them. No government on Earth was acceptable to the Grey. Those who created the problem can't be trusted to fix it, not properly. In this case, money was the motivating factor. The government wanted to profit off of the alien technology. There was an exchange on the condition that the tech would not be used for war, but would be used instead to free the world of its dependence on oil and money. The tech was nuclear energy. The exchange was for the DNA necessary to save the Grey race. But the tech was not to be used for war. When Hitler, then America, set out to create weapons of war from the alien tech, they violated the treaty. Humans broke intergalactic law. Contact was broken. Now, a war is being waged against alien contact. Propaganda is the main weapon of this war, instilling fear to prevent that first contact. Because when the aliens make contact with the priesthood that they created, the governments will have to face charges in a court higher than that of Earth. The entire prophecy did not have to play out as enacted. It was designed to play out in a variety of ways and still be viable. However, it is the worst case scenario that we must now enact. We have no easier path open to us. Fear and denial have led us blindly down a path that makes every prophetic verse true and inevitable in its worst form. The government has gone to great lengths to prolong their power. They rule Earth by money and consent of the governed. Ignorance. We believe whatever they tell us to, because we know no better. We don't have all the facts. We have believed the stories instead of the history, because history is shrouded in myth and conspiracies. They rule the day. Until we discover the truth of what is happening in our skies, until we make first contact with the UFOs, we have no way of knowing the truth that God has returned and the government is hiding it from us. There, I'm going to leave off for this episode, and I'll pick up next time where I left off. Until then, may the Grey watch over you, guide you, protect you, and keep you from all harm. May they teach you right from wrong, and may you be worthy of them. Let your words, thoughts, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light. The unicorn way. Be the joy. Stay happy and high, my people. Know that I love you. We'll be together soon. Until then, later. 'Cause I'll never say goodbye.